Hello, my name is Akoya Webb, and I'm a current student here at North Carolina A&T State University. I'm a biology major, and I'm here to talk about post-incarceration in the African American community, specifically African American males. Unfortunately, in the African American community, prison and incarceration is very common, especially when it comes to African American males. So in my essay, I wanted to talk about how post-incarcerated African American individuals are negatively impacted, especially when it comes to rebuilding their lives back into society, because of the many factors that they face post-incarceration. So my topic is relevant because in the African American community, prison is something that can sometimes be unavoidable because of racial discrimination. Some African Americans are put into jail for no reason, and then, it's so common. It's dangerously common in the African American community, and I don't think people really understand how much it really can affect others, not just the incarcerated individual, but the other people that are involved. And I really feel like prison or incarceration can really tear down the Black community because, half of the Black community is incarcerated, and it's really hard to bounce back from it. Interesting findings I found in my topic were that there are many factors that play into post-incarceration and how hard it can be to rebuild your lives back into society and make money and a living. Like, there's things such as PICS, which is post-incarceration syndrome. PTSD is developed. There are mental disorders such as depression and anxiety that are developed. The societal challenges that are developed, such as, broken family dynamics, and how hard it can be to find job opportunities, and the fact that you're in jail. Skills like professionalism are taken away or derived from you, and how much it really can affect the Black community because of these factors. So, relevant sources I used to support were from the Blue Fort Library. I searched up relevant topics such as incarceration, how it may affect family dynamics, and maybe mental illnesses that are associated with post-incarceration to really help find sources that will help me to have relevant information to write my essay. So an overall summary and overview of my essay was that my thesis included, post-incarcerated African American males and how difficult it is to rebuild their lives into society based on mental, physical, and societal factors. So when it comes to physical factors and mental factors such as disorders such as PTSD and depression and anxiety that are developed from incarceration, you can imagine that in post-incarceration or post-incarcerated African American individuals have to deal with these things, and which can really take a toll onto having the chance to rebuild their lives because they don't have help or rehab or the proper sources to really, help get themselves back from these things. Then the societal challenges also play a big part of how difficult it can be, such as, the ability to find job opportunities, because there are things like criminal records are developed once an individual is incarcerated, which can make it difficult to find a job. And then lastly, the family dynamics that are involved. Once the father figure is put in prison and is gone for a long time, you can imagine the long-term effects it can have on a family, such as the mother being a single mother and having to work for her own living and supporting the children all by herself. And then the children don't have a father figure, so it can lead to sometimes them resorting to crime and being put in the same situation as the father. So in conclusion, my research process included finding sources. What really worked well was finding sources after I wrote my essay because I could find relevant topics versus, finding sources before writing my essay because they tended to be irrelevant. In closing thought, I want to emphasize the importance of trying to build back up the African American community because it's really important, and I really feel like it should be brought to awareness that post-incarceration is really dangerous for African American males, and I think it should be important for the Black community as a whole to get together and help those individuals so that we can help ourselves. Thank you.